Hello, Angelus Demonus reporting in. I'd like to share with you a small video series preparing you for the third installment of Deep Dungeon, Eureka Orthos. While the topics discussed may lean heavily on soloing Eureka Orthos, some info may carry over to party runs as well. In this video, I'll talk about new strategies based on the information provided in the recent Final Fantasy XIV 75th live letter that aired on December 23rd, 2022. YoshiP introduced two new Pomanders. Today, I'll discuss the Demiclone Generator Pomander. Demiclone Generator looks to be the new mechanic and replacement of the Heaven on High Magicite. You can assume this will probably be obtained via silver chests and not gold chests, as was the case in Heaven on High for Magicites. For a quick review, Magicites in Heaven on High were the literal definition of a floor wipe. One button, a primal shows up and nukes the floor. Aside from the three common primals of Garuda, Titan, and Ifrit, you had a rare pickup of an Elder Magicite, or Odin. Odin was special because while it did the same thing as the previous three Magicites in terms of killing all the floor enemies, it was the only one capable of one-shotting bosses. Garuda, Titan, and Ifrit would only do a fixed amount of damage on bosses if you were so bold to use one. The main strategies for Magicite usage were as follows. The most common use was for the time save on a floor. Check some chests, fish out some mimics, and nuke the floor as soon as you can. It was a great Pomander to use if you got a no item debuff along with a second or third debuff to save a Pomander of Serenity. Magicites were not blocked out from the no item debuff, although there was a special debuff called no Magicites that would prevent their use. If you had an Odin, it was semi-common to save that specific Pomander for the final boss, floor 90 Onra, for the big time save no matter the job because you can just one-shot it. If you encountered the Hall of Fallacies, or Big Room as the community likes to call it, it was a pretty good idea to Fortune and Magicite for potential Pomander replenishment. Magicites were not very common on your average run, so planning when and how you'll use them was crucial for going for a clear. A big difference of the Demiclone Generator versus a Magicite is it will summon a helper NPC instead of just blow up the floor in one go. This NPC seems to not have a timer, so it seems it will stay with you until you travel to the next floor. Whether the NPC sticks around if you die is also a mystery, assuming you had a Pomander raising on. The Demiclone that was demonstrated by YoshiP was Doga, a black mage NPC that looked to attack enemies only when you engaged on something. For those familiar with the Crystal Tower lore, Doga should look very familiar. It had casted Petrification into a damage over time into Fire 4 for big damage. Whether that's its rotation or it adjusts to multiple enemies, we are currently unsure. There are a couple thoughts and ideas for this new Demiclone Generator Pomander. If we get Doga as one, we can expect Une as at least one of the other ones, who would be a healer type via the lore of Crystal Tower. While this is currently pure speculation, we might be seeing the three main roles covered as the common Demiclone pickups: a mystery tank, Une as a healer, and Doga as a DPS. What they will do can very much adjust how they will be used based on the situation. Is a tank Demiclone good for big pulls? Will the Demiclones be useful on bosses? The Demiclone could also be a way to make up a weakness of a specific role you are using, especially in solo. If Doga is considered a DPS, maybe that will help tanks and healers go through floors much faster. Maybe Une being a healer could really help a DPS in survivability and maybe buffs like haste. This could open a door where catering your pickups to benefit the job you are playing may modify your climbing strategy. Also, another big question is, will we be seeing a special fourth Demiclone, similar to the Elder Magicite aka Odin, and what will that Demiclone do? Lots of interesting possibilities and potential strategy applications, and I personally can't wait to hash it all out. Magicites in Heaven on High were pretty straightforward in their application. Demiclones, on the other hand, could provide a deeper thought process to get the most out of them. What do you think? Let me know your ideas and thoughts in the comments below. Part of me is interested in how a discussion like this will age after a year or so even if your idea sounds ridiculous, you might end up being the smartest gamer in the comments. Stay tuned for more videos in the series, as well as when I dive into Eureka Orthos when it goes live. Solo, of course. Have a good one.